The 2021 Ram brand just received first place in the prestigious J.D. Power's initial quality study. The Dodge brand finished second to Ram, and the 2021 Jeep Gladiator is first among all midsize trucks. Quality and Ram Power Days, only at Allen Samuels, 201 West Loop 340.
Come by, let's be friends.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Stepping into a new pair of boots is great, but stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can also add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. There are more than 150 occupational specialties to help them find the best fit for their future. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Welcome back to Sikkim 365 Radio. Call us on the BetUS hotline, 254-339-1122.
Welcome back to the Sikkim 365 Baylor postgame show, brought to you by Coaches XXX Smoke. Baylor 27, Oklahoma 14. I wouldn't call it a shocker, but I think there are certainly some people stunned, especially after the way Baylor lost last week to a TCU team that they should not have lost to. But Oklahoma rolls in here to Waco, and Baylor rolls out now 8-2 on the year. Oklahoma falls to 9-1, and Baylor puts themselves squarely back in the mix of the Big 12 race, although Oklahoma does need to lose again for them and to get where they want to go. But an impressive win by Baylor, especially on defense. Ron Roberts called a great game today over there. 254-339-1122. Calls, chat. We had to, we had a little technical snafu on the chat with our interwebs here. But we are back. And look, I was sitting over here the whole time. So before you say it, I had nothing to do with it. So I claim zero responsibility for that. Player of the game. Armstrong, would it be crazy to give it to Gary Bohannon?
No, I think.
I mean, the way he ran the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
9 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, both in the fourth quarter.
If you looked at only his passing performance, it would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like he threw that touchdown He threw the beautiful touchdown to Tyquan Thornton. His passing performance, not great. But part of the thing we're not going to do, we're not just going to chase stats here. Because the Baylor defense collectively, everybody had a good game today. Kalen Barnes had a pick. Walcott had a pick. A bunch of different guys had sacks. A bunch of different guys made plays in the open field. Oklahoma didn't have a genuine, true big play until the very end of the game when the game was pretty much already decided. The Baylor defense is great, but I want to look deeper than just the overall stats. To me, the player of the game is a guy who didn't have his best stuff throwing the ball, 12 of 21, 117 yards and a touchdown and one pick in the red zone. That was a bad pick, and I thought was going to turn the game around. It did not. It did not. And comes out, Jeff Grimes comes up with a different scheme in the offense, or different plan in the second half for Gary Bohannon. 9 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. To me, it's got to be Gary Bohannon. Really had a nice bounce back game after being very sluggish last week against TCU. Donnie Hand agrees with me on Bohannon on the chat. Jake the Snake. So we see more of Gary's legs the rest of the year. What is the path for to the Big 12 championship game? Basically, Baylor needs Oklahoma State to lose twice, or they need Oklahoma to lose twice.
So Oklahoma State to beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma, and I think they're in. Yeah, that's the simplest one.
Yeah, this is Lincoln Riley said he was upset that Baylor wasn't assessed a 15-yard penalty for the field rushing.
Ah, okay.
He also said he understands why Dave Aranda kicked the field goal, but said he wouldn't have done it and that it goes against a, quote, code of sportsmanship.
Yeah.
And I think that's BS.
Yeah.
I don't think that he Lincoln Riley's a smart guy. I don't think he would have not done that for sportsmanship.
Yeah. But I do agree they should have been assessed a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, they should have been assessed a penalty for sure, but
yeah.
I don't buy that he wouldn't have done that.
So, look, here's the thing. The first thing is on the refs for not...
I think the refs are just confused.
Yeah, they're very confused for not being able to handle that. So, I mean, they're human beings, but that's on them for not being able to, call the timeout, explain what's going on. That's why you have a mic,
Yep.
I mean, you hear all the time, the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Yeah, we all saw that. Everybody's switching sides. Nobody touched the ball.
Yeah.
This is when you need to use the mic. And I think there was just the refs really confused. And look, if you don't like Oklahoma, basically, look, the biggest screw you with that field goal. Love it from Owen, who's a West Virginia fan. So if you don't like OU, then you love the field goal. And I get what Lincoln Riley's saying, and he's emotional at the moment. I guarantee you he and Dave Aranda will talk about it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It will be fine. I don't think Dave Aranda thought of it that way, and I've never once thought of Dave Aranda as someone who, would ever be unsportsmanlike. I mean, he's very zen and very, very, very low, even keeled. Do we have a play of the game that sticks out?
The only one I can think of is Abram Smith's 75-yard rush, but
yeah,
I don't know that was that big.
Yeah.
Did
they score on that play? Or
no, but then Gary ran it in 3 plays later.
Yeah, we'll say that one because I was walking out of the stadium when that happened. And then Gary scored a couple plays later. So yeah, let's call it Abram Smith's 75-yard run is the play of the game. From the 910, great win, fellas. We've done a good job saving some of the biggest wins for some of the biggest recruiting weekends. Glad to send Lincoln back to Norman with that loss. That's Adam from the Pentagon. There we go. High-level text on this post-game show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I believe that's the actual Pentagon and not just a pentagon he drew on the ground. But
from the Pentagon.
That would be a Pentagon, not the Pentagon.
That would be.
Yeah, but
unless he's referring to, there's a basketball stadium called the Pentagon, I believe.
No, there is.
Unless he's sitting in the basketball stadium somewhere.
No, I'll take it from the Pentagon. High-level stuff going on. One day they'll ask my advice on something. That's what I hope, that the Pentagon calls me and needs hey, listen.
Specific area of expertise.
One of my specific areas of expertise. The Pentagon would call and be like, hey, Paul, which version of Spider-Man do you think would be good? to show the trainees. I don't know. Who's the best stand-up comedian going right now? We'd like to have him out for a USO show.
Oh my God.
Like, those kind of things. That's what I could tell them. So, Baylor Bigfoot, and I'll only take text from him now. The play of the game was I was honored at the banner unveiling last night at the Baylor men's game. Well, I missed that part. I got in late, so I missed that. I know it was a long ceremony. I didn't realize that they – did you see that, Armstrong? You were there from the very beginning. Did you?
Did I see Baylor Bigfoot?
Did you see him get honored?
I must have missed it.
Yeah.
But if he says it happened, I'm sure
it happened. I mean, he was far be it from him to make something up completely. All right, when we come back, we'll wrap around some scores from around the country, dive back into the chat. One more break here, 254-339-1122. This is the Baylor Postgame Show on Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
There are 26 letters in the alphabet, over 600,000 words in the dictionary, and just 3 of them said together can change everything. Let's order pizza. Those 3 words lead to dough made from scratch and 3 fresh signature cheeses that blanket golden crust in a heavenly melt on Marco's Pizza that'll blow your mind. So visit marcos.com to order and stop by Marco's Pizza in Belmead, China Spring, Woodway, and soon to open in Robinson. Marco's. Pizza lovers get it.
Baylor Scott and White, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The team physicians for Baylor Athletics, diagnosing and treating all sports-related injuries, including concussions. These specialists also provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike, whether it's knee or shoulder pain, hand or wrist injury, orthopedic spine care, and even an arthritis and total joint clinic. Trust the doctors Baylor Athletics trusts. Baylor Scott and White, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics wants to get you back in the game.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
For a limited time, refinance your vehicle and have 90 days with 0 payments. Only at Genco FCU. Refinancing lowers your rate and you pay less for your car. You can't pass on rates as low as 1.75% for 48 months. Apply online today.
Annual percentage rate subject to change without notice. Subject to credit approval, membership eligibility, and loan policies. Go to GencoFCU.org. NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
My money, my future, my credit union. Genco.
Welcome back to Sikkim 365 Radio. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? Search 365 Sports on YouTube.
Welcome back in. Paul, Catalina, Armstrong, Sims. Matt is visiting here today. Let's go back to the phones at 254-339-1122. Sam from Bryant. My ancestral manse,
hey,
by the way.
Hey, what's up? Great game.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, so Baylor brought back the 28-3 curse. OU led the all-time series today, 28-3. They got to stick them again after the devastating 2019 loss.
Well, I didn't even think about that. Well, that's a nice point, Sam. Thanks for your call. 254-339-1122. We had one and dropped it, but I'm sure he'll call back. Baylor Ben, hey guys, Bears win. They should have announced a timeout coming. They called it earlier. Anyway, defense controlled the game. Grateful for the win. Yep. And looking ahead, Armstrong, to next week is Kansas State on the road. Baylor's not played well on the road this year. Outside of Lawrence, Kansas, where they won 45-7, didn't play well on the road in San Marcos to open the year. Didn't play well on the road in Stillwater, and that was the first loss, and didn't play well on the road in Fort Worth. And now they've got to go to Manhattan to a team against Kansas State that won today. It has improved to 7-3 on the year. It's just one game worse than Baylor right now. So, that one's going to be nerve-wracking. They won 34-17. Other scores around the country, SMU wallops UCF 55-28. SMU needed that one. They were kind of in a free fall a little bit. They lost a couple games in a row. Houston over Temple 37-8. Louisville rolls over Syracuse 41-3. Clemson 44. UConn 7. Florida 70. Samford 52. And Dan Mullen's going to have another rough week because he needed, I know he didn't need all those 70 points to beat him. He won by 18, but he was down 42-35 to Samford, an FCS team at halftime. That is not good, and that's not easy for the AD to look donors in the eye and say, give me $1 million to help this guy. That's tough. Wisconsin keeps up their roll 35-7. They've improved to 7-3 on the year with the win over Northwestern. Michigan ekes it out over Penn State in just a bare-knuckle brawl in Happy Valley, 21-17. Alabama rolls 59-3 over lowly New Mexico State. Mississippi State, 43-34, scored 36 unanswered points, something like that. Armstrong, 39? 30. Well, that would have given them 4 points at one point. Yeah, 36.
36 makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Here we got, hold on. A tweet here from David Smoak, his opinion. Let me read this.
Yeah.
I can see both sides of the argument on the final seconds of BU football's winning against Oklahoma, but was there any code of sportsmanship while Texas and Oklahoma were secretly negotiating their exit from the Big 12 Conference?
No, there was not. Dan from Houston, you were on Sikkim 365 Radio on the BetUS caller line. Thanks for your call.
Yeah, thanks, Paul and Armstrong. I know y'all did a lot of work, basketball game and early kickoff and everything. So first off, just as a fan, so thankful for y'all. Y'all energize everybody, and I know a lot of times you get the negative, but, today's a good day, so I wanted to thank you. The biggest thing that stuck out to me is, like, at halftime, going in tied, but I just felt like we were losing because we weren't capitalizing. And a team against Oklahoma, you can't do that because they know how to win. And that second half just erased all of that because this coaching staff, has that winning mentality, and it's just great to watch. Yeah, man. Sick 'em, and thank y'all for all you do.
All right, thanks, Dan. Appreciate your call. And I think that's the biggest thing with this Dave Aranda coaching staff is Dave Aranda's won as an assistant Wisconsin and LSU. He knows how to do it on a big time stage. So that's why, even though last year was rough and was weird, if you look at him finding himself as a head coach, it doesn't surprise me to see him knowing and doing good things in the big moments here. They just have it going there on that staff. For sure. Baylor Ben says Ashley Hodge needs a day off. Sure. Absolutely. Ashley needs a day off. Sure he does. By the way, right now, Iowa State and Texas Tech tied at 7 in the first quarter of that game, 6:15 left. Other big games around the country. Iowa over Minnesota, 3-0 right now. Purdue and Ohio State, this one's got a lot of eyes on it. Ohio State's in trouble. The spoiler makers, as they've been called, Purdue, tied at 7:58 left to go in the first quarter. Georgia and Tennessee tied, 7 minutes and change left to go in the first quarter. And let's see. Florida State leads Miami 7-0, 4:46 left to go in the first quarter in scenic and lovely Tallahassee. Raymond from Waco. Good to hear your voice, brother. You're on the BetUS caller line.
What's up, Paul?
What's up, Raymond?
Hey, I got something to say. SEC! Another one bites the dust. Let's Paul.
Thanks, Raymond. Raymond usually texts us. And his texts are pretty much like that, and they're great. Love Raymond. Raymond's been listening to the shows for a long time, no matter what platform we're coming on. Back to the chat. Let's see. Anything good here on the chat? A couple things I wish we could read, but we can't, Armstrong. Let's see. Terrence says Big 12 and ACC are the worst of the Power 5 conferences. The Pac-12 would like to get into that discussion. They would. Stephen Rose says no Big 12 getting in the playoff. And that's something that the Big 12 may have to contend with. And I think that before this game, we knew that they didn't really want to put the Big 12 in when they ranked an undefeated Oklahoma team, behind at 8th. We knew that. That was kind of coming. Miles Thurman, K-State really worries me next week. KSU is looking much better, and we have not played well on the road. Like I said, Miles, yes, I agree with that. That's going to be a tough game for Baylor to go up to the Little Apple and win, and they have not looked good on the road. And that's not a trap game. That team is 7-3. They're one game worse than Baylor right now. So it's not a trap game at all. They need to get refocused. Got a huge win over a team that they have not had many wins in school history against today. And that's a huge, huge thing, but it's got to be on to the next thing. All right, Armstrong, I think that's about it, right? Anything you'd like to add today?
No.
No. All right.
I don't think so.
Thanks to everybody who called. Thanks to everybody who texted in. Thanks to everybody on the chat. We will be back Monday at 3 o'clock right here in the Sikkim 365 studios, on YouTube, on the app, everywhere you can get us. Recapping the weekend in football, recapping this game again even more. David Smoak and Craig Smoak will join me. Thanks to Armstrong Sims. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to everybody. Have a great football weekend, everybody. Once again, the final score, Baylor 27, Oklahoma 14. Big game in Manhattan next week. The Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports.